for the Uncle Rico Show. It's time for the Uncle Rico Show. So chug a course, here we go. It's time.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the world famous Uncle Rico Show with your world famous Uncle Rico host. Come on. Who's having a good time tonight? How about everyone that's here? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got one hell of a show. We got a bit of a reunion going on here tonight.
Wow.
There's a guest coming on right now that we haven't, the three of us haven't had a chance to hang with and talk to in years. I've kept in touch with this guy. He's always
ignored me.
No, he's always been one of my favorites, man. When he would come up to Sirius, I always made sure to talk to him and see what's going on with him, because as a veteran super fan of the Stern Show, this guy's an OG. This guy is one of the greats, and you got to respect his body of work, what he brought to the table, the amount of his life that was shared to the world. I mean, that's not easy to do. Take it from somebody who's been there. It ain't easy. This guy, he was something else. He delivered every time. How about enough for Howard to dedicate a fucking book to him? How about that?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uncle Rico Show. Our pal and yours, Steve Grillo.
I don't know what to say about that intro, Shuey, but I'm really touched. Thank you very much.
I mean it. How many times?
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
How many times did you come up to Sirius for something else, and I always cornered you and stuck a mic in your face and made you plug something?
I will never, ever forget that. And every time I talk to anybody, that's the first thing that I say. I was like, I got nothing against Shuli. And every time I went up there, he made sure he gave me some airtime and always made me look good. And for that, my brother, I will never, ever forget it.
Listen, man, you gotta pay it forward. You gotta respect the people that were before you. Like I said, I love and respected that show. It got me through so many fucking shitty jobs and shitty times, and you were one of those reasons. You opening your life and being fucked with on the show on a daily basis was something that, for me as a fan, like you were a major player in that, and I've always respect, especially when I got there and I realized how hard it is to be honest about your life on the air, because so many people are listening. And when I was there, it wasn't near the amount of people that when Grillo was on. Right. I mean, you double that audience number, and Grillo's whole life is open game for everybody. Yeah, and I've always respected you for that, man. I seriously,
I appreciate that. And the funny thing is, a lot of people went on that show because they wanted to be on-air talent, or, they wanted to be a big star. I really just went on because, Hunter College was down the block, and I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe this studio is this close. I was a huge fan, and all I did was listen to John and Ganji all morning, and I was like, shit, if they could do it, so can I. And I didn't want to be I just wanted to be a part of it because I knew that it was something huge. And it was just way too convenient, and I just made sure that I got past that door.
But you were also, you separated yourself, not so much from I will say from Ganji, from everybody, with your work ethic. And that's why the book was dedicated to you, because you were there every morning, no questions asked. You were there doing your job, whatever it was. No fucking back talk, no backing out. You were as loyal as a soldier gets, and what a sign of respect. What an amazing thing for him to do, to dedicate that to you.
Yeah, but do you understand how lucky I knew I was? That don't ask me why the hell they let me in and shut the door behind me. That's why I was there every day. Who am I to be there? I'm just some punk kid from Canarsie, Brooklyn, and all of a sudden I'm working on the biggest radio show in the world. Yeah, and they keep letting me in.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I be there every day and do whatever they needed to keep staying there? Because I knew how amazing it was.
That's how you be big at your job. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? If you want something, you fucking go through it, and when you get it, you just fucking keep piling.
I went through it,
buddy. I mean, but that's the mentality you have to have. You know, when I got to New York, I didn't know that there was going to be a position for me. I didn't know that I was going to get hired full time.
Yeah.
But the only thing I knew was that I was not going back to Vegas. I'm going to figure something out. If it means shining shoes in the bathroom, while I'll do that. But my mentality was, you fucked up letting me in the door. Now I'm going to do whatever the fuck I need to do to stay here.
Yeah. But I wasn't I wasn't there to be on the air. I was just there to do a good job. You know what I'm saying? Every time I went on there, it wasn't exactly fun.
Well, no, that's what makes the dedication so much more special, in my opinion, because it wasn't about anything you did on the air. It was all about what you did behind the scenes.
Right. And you could tell it was real, that you weren't going in there just to be on the air.
Right.
Yeah, no, I definitely wasn't. It was just, I was just happy to be a part of it and just be glad that they let me in every day, seriously. And when he dedicated the book to me, which was weird, I had a bizarre dream about 2 weeks before the book came out about he like slammed me in the book. It was like weird. And I remember telling him that story about, I had a weird dream about the book, and he turned to me and was like, "What are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean you had a weird dream? What do you know?" I go, I don't know anything. I didn't tell him. I thought he slammed me. I said I had a dream that the book does really well. He goes, "What?" And because he thought someone leaked out that I dedicated the book to him.
Right.
And that morning, I was probably on 2 hours sleep coming from Scores. I was in a horrible mood. I was still half drunk. And then the first book opens up, and it just makes me read it, and I start having a panic attack. I don't know if you ever watched the video, but you could see me lose breath.
Yeah.
And then when I could read forward more and see my name at the bottom, I started getting worse. And then I said debit instead of debt, which made it even more interesting.
Right. Steve, Bob's 60 and he still says the same thing. What happened?
Yeah.
No, I have something. I want to look, but keep talking, guys. Hold on.
I thought there was a roach coming out.
No. Well, I gotta say, no. This is kind of cool, but it's really, really upsetting because it was probably one of the most prized possessions.
Yeah.
This, unfortunately, is the first book that came out of the box.
Oh no!
My God.
I had it underneath my aquarium.
Yeah.
And the aquarium had a fucking leak.
Oh no!
And it's basically here in this, but like it's black mold. So if you release this, it's probably like the plague. But this is the actual. This is the actual book that I got. I couldn't throw it away.
So this is how
I just basically sealed it up. I was so mad because it was my roommate
created fucking Corona. He created Corona.
This is the start of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the Stern virus.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Like I have this really prized possession from Jay Thomas, who I work with. You remember Jay?
I met him once. He was a very nice guy.
Great guy. And he gave me one year, he gave me the football he threw on the to hit the meatball on Letterman when my wife and I came to see him at Letterman. It was signed by Dave and it was signed by Jay.
Wow.
Yeah. And I still have the football, but it's completely flat now because my kid somehow put a hole in it. So I have this fucking amazing thing that's ruined, you know?
You can get it fixed. You can get
it.
And, but,
like a
you
flat
know,
tire.
I'm just trying to make
my shit's beyond repair. That's beyond repair.
Right. I was just trying to make Grillo feel better. That's all.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, skull, baby. Let's do this.
Oh, baby. Skull.
So,
Cilantro.
I want to catch up with you right now, currently, because, you know, one of the things about you, you've always pursued the team since Private Parts, I think, right? Or were you involved in stuff before Private Parts? But I think that
no. My my first job ever was on a movie set was Private Parts, and Howard got me the job as a must hire, which
Yeah.
originally I was supposed to be his assistant, and thank God I wasn't. Because
Right.
I had no idea what the fuck was. An assistant on a movie set knows everything. You got to know the call time, the lunch time, everything. I didn't know anything. Thank God I didn't get that job. But he got me a job as a must hire on the set, which was a big deal because all the PAs that I've ever got to set had to do 6 months in an office.
Right. So he
So
basically fast tracked you past all that.
yeah, and well, the key PA did not like that.
Well, of course they
So-
had to
so-
eat that shit sandwich, and you didn't.
Yeah.
You got to skip the line.
Well, he gave me a shit sandwich for
Oh,
the whole thing, and I was 2 weeks into it, and I'm like, doing the radio show from 5 until 10, and then doing the movie from 11 till 11
yeah.
without a break, and he had me so the first 2 weeks, I'm like. By the second week, I'm like, I'm going to quit. It's going to be bad, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I can't handle the schedule because I'm not going to rat and say this guy's making my life a miserable hell. But I'm just going to tap out. And then one of my best friends goes, so what's it like being on a movie set? I said, oh, it's a pain in the ass. First they got to do the one shot over the shoulder, and then they got to move a wall and change the thing, and they got to do this, and then the grips come in, and the lighting comes in, and then set dressing comes in, and I went, yo, I didn't know anything about that 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I went, oh shit, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I went, oh man, fuck this guy. I'm staying here. He ain't getting rid of me. And I made it through the whole sting. And it was the best thing I ever did.
Again, that mentality, that put your head down and fucking get the job done mentality. So many people don't have that. It's what's gotten you into so many doors and kept you there. So you've had this love of the film and TV industry. You've pursued it for years. You had extra parts, I think, or small roles in like Sopranos and other stuff. But where are you at now? What's going on with your life now?
Well, yeah, then 9/11 happened.
Well, I don't remember.
And,
Tell me that. What
well,
happened?
9/11, I was just standing on the Sopranos. I was getting roles. I was doing really well. I was working in nightclubs, and I had a pile of cash on my dresser. I had a bank account, and things were fast tracking. And then 9/11 happened. Not to use that as an excuse, but the city shut down.
Sure.
The Sopranos took a hiatus because Gandolfini, Imperioli, Sharippa, and one of the directors, they all lived in Tribeca. They all had to move. And I wound up getting convinced by some family members to get a job. And I got into Local 3, the electrical union.
Okay.
And it was about a 6.5 year process to get to where you were supposed to be. And it just wasn't me, dude.
Right.
It was not me. And I did about 4 years, and I tapped out. And everybody said it was a bad move. But if I'm going to do this for another 2 years, when I get my card, I'm not going to ever use it. I'm going to rip it up.
Right.
So
right.
Why waste 2 years?
I agree. And why do something that makes you miserable?
Yeah. No, my ex-wife, she was like, you used to be fun. Every time you come home every day, you sit on the couch and you're a miserable fuck.
Yeah.
And I go, well, because I got to do this job for us.
Right.
And she goes,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't. You want to quit? I got your back. I went, oh, you do?
Wow.
Yeah. I would say it took about another 3 weeks before I figured a way to get the fuck out.
No, I've done every kind of manual labor. I hate every single one of it. I did electrical with a guy that would tell me to grab the wrong wire every time, and then I'd get shocked, and he'd go, "You awake now?" That was a guy I worked with. I hated it. I hated him. When you do something that you don't love, it makes you so miserable. And I think that has to do with a lot of the hate that's out there in the world right now, and social media is just people are stuck doing something. They wish they could do something else, maybe something that person they're attacking is doing, but they can't, and so they're angry about it, and it sucks. I've been there. I know. It's a shitty feeling. So where are you at now? What are you doing?
Well, I after the pandemic, again. most of the people that I'm still friends with in the business all stem from Private Parts, because Private Parts went to Sopranos. Sopranos went to Boardwalk Empire. And when I had the LED lighting company and stuff, everybody welcomed me back. They were like, Grillo, where the fuck you been? So they did whatever they can to help me to try to get the lighting company started. And one of the guys, I don't know, he's a big shot. I don't want to mention his name, but when he found out that I wasn't doing anything, but I was qualified in OSHA and scissor lift,
Right.
it was probably last year in October. He had me working as a grip on, Miss Maisel in like 3 days. And when I found out what I was making, I was like, why wasn't I doing this 30 years ago? Like, I had no idea they got paid this money. So it changed my life. I added debt. I'm paying rent. I got a little extra money in my pocket, and I got a 2007 Softail. So I'm really happy at the way my life is going right now.
Nice.
I'm happy for you, dude. I'm happy that you are getting to do what you love. It's so rare that people get to do that for a living. So that makes everything in your life so much better. So I'm happy for you. You deserve it. You deserve it because you've been through a lot. I mean, you've appeared on Beer on the Balcony, what, 5-6 times? I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, here's the one thing I want to do, and I appreciate this. I know you guys have like stormed up on John, and I get what it is. I'm friends with him, and I like whatever you guys do. Though there's 3 sides to every story. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to be in any controversy. I do have a brother place in my heart for the guy. I understand you guys do what you got to do. John gives it out. You give it out. I want to be out of it. And I said the same thing on his show. Get it. There's no way in hell. I don't even want to joke about him if you don't mind. You guys can, but I'm not going to join in on that because I just don't want to get involved in that mess. I'd rather talk about what we're talking about now all night long.
I understand. And listen, I would have no problem talking to you about that. At the end of the day, what we're doing is not coming from a personal place of hatred. We don't want to see him fail. We don't want to see him not be able to work. We didn't tell him to stop doing his podcast. In fact, just the opposite. We've offered him an opportunity here with us to do a show with us, an old school type radio show where it's not just about goofing on him, but at the end of the day, all we're doing is busting his balls. We're all we're doing is playing clips of stuff that he's put out on the internet, and we don't attack family, we don't attack friends, we don't attack businesses.
I hope not. Because listen, one-on-one, that's one thing. He gets upset about the family thing. I'm not saying that you guys, because no offense, I don't listen to my own shit or let alone anybody else. But like I don't know what happened on his show. I don't know what happened on your show.
Right.
Like I said, Levy, you've never done anything. Mike, I hope we don't know each other, but you haven't done anything. And surely, like I said, I always say, there's no way I cannot be friends with you. Oh, you always had my back, no matter what.
And just so you know, I would never bring you on here and put you in a corner and be like, yo, tear this fucking guy apart.
Why do you think I'm on here right now? Because I know you're not going to do that to me.
Of course. And so my whole thing is I just want to explain to you that we have made multiple offers to try and because, numerous people are making money off of John with the exception of John. And I legit think that he can make a really good amount of money, but this started on a sour note because of him, not because of me. And you know what John is capable of. John shoots first and asks questions later, right? Right. So at the end of the day, I never had any problem with John. I always
thought you were. I thought you were much closer with him than I anticipated because he there was always like. I have my friends on the internet. I'm not saying that was you, but I always thought that maybe you had like a stronger connection with him.
I mean, the stronger connection I had with him was he was the one manning the phones when I used to call in. And so would, and he was very helpful in that. He was actually, he'd go, I tell him, hey, I got this. And he'd go, yeah, I wouldn't go with that. Go with this. And he would help me get on the air. And again, all the more reason why I had no problem with the guy. None at all. In fact, I never brought his name up ever. And so what happened was he just started attacking me out of the blue and accusing me of things that weren't accurate. You know, he made accusations that I secretly filmed this summit meeting and that I was the one that released it. And I had nothing to do with it. You see me sitting in the fucking in front of whoever filmed it. Yeah. But for him to make that accusation at that time, for me to be, having my first kid, and it could have put me in a really shitty spot, you know, to the point where it could have cost me my job and providing for my family. And again, I never understood where that came from a guy that I never had any issue with and never went out of my way to shit on ever. I never mentioned him at all. So even then, Grillo, I never fought back. I never initiated any kind of back and forth with him. I always took the high road because at that time I was employed by a place that he hated and that he shit on regularly. And it made sense to me that it probably wouldn't be a good look for me to get involved in a Twitter fight with this guy or go on his podcast or what have you. I should probably distance myself from this guy. And that's what I did for a while.
I don't get that. I don't get the whole Twitter wars and the back and forth. I guess they say I'm a Virgo. I don't like confrontation. I don't like arguing with anybody. I like peace. Yeah, I like peace and everything. So, doing your show, I just wanted to make sure that, I respect John. I love him to death. I think he's like a brother. Whatever you guys got going on, I hope you can figure it out. But we definitely got a lot more to talk about than John. That's for sure.
I hope we do too, because we're doing an event this upcoming weekend titled DabbleCon. That is, we're giving an award show to John for all the work that he's done that's provided content for so many other shows. We're praising him. It's something that he should have been a part of. Yeah. But it's all in the interaction. It's all in the approach. We're not looking to ruin him. We're looking to put a spotlight on him and say, this guy's gold and more people need to watch this and focus on this. And that's all we're trying to do, you know?
Okay. Well, that's cool. Good luck to that. Next subject.
Do you think now?
I don't think you're sucking me into a rabbit hole, but I'm not going down a rabbit hole.
No. Just want to ask this question, and then we'll move on, and I'll bring up something else. But this question to you is: you've come on here. All we've talked about is you, right? We've talked about John for 5-6 minutes. You've said nothing negative about him. Do you think you will get shit for this from him?
Why would I get shit for him? Because I'm saying nothing, but I respect and love him, and I don't know what happened. I just hear stories, so I can't make my own fucking thing. But as a brother, I love John, and I will protect him and always stick up for him. So if you're gonna say something negative, I'm not gonna appreciate it or want to hear it. So if you can keep your negativity outside of when I'm here, that's great. But if there's anything negative about John, I don't want to be a part of it because he is a friend of mine, and I don't want to get in the middle of that. That's your thing with John. That's not my thing. That's
what would you say if he did have a problem with this? What would you tell him?
Well, then you know what? Well, here's the deal. I hope that he doesn't. I can't say that he will. Here's the deal. If it's viewed as I'm helping you, you're helping me. I got to look out for myself. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not doing anything negative towards him. I'm telling you, please don't do anything towards him that's negative. I don't want to be part of the negative. So if he's got a problem with this, I came on here to say I don't like anything that's going on. I don't know who's right or wrong. I don't like it either way because I like you and I like him. And there's no reason why I can't pick a side because I don't have anything wrong with you and I don't have anything wrong with him.
Yeah. Exactly. So
I like that.
You are his defender, which is great. What would you say are his 3 greatest attributes?
He's really smart, he's quick, and he's an amazing musician.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. If by chance, hypothetically, if by chance he has a problem with this, can we book you again?
No, you know what? Put it this way: if he has knowing John, if he thinks that I'm coming on here and telling him the saying that I think that what you guys, if you're doing that shit, I don't know, because I don't. If you're doing that shit, I condemn it. It's wrong. Okay, I don't know if you are, you're not. Doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna say it's fucked up. If it is, if it's not, then okay. But if he has a problem and thinks I'm a traitor or I'm coming on here, I have every right to do anything I want.
Absolutely.
This isn't okay. And I'm coming on here and I'm saying I don't like if you guys are attacking his kids, if you're attacking his job, if you're doing anything. I don't fucking like it. But I don't know. I don't know the whole story other than I hear one thing and I hear another thing. I don't care. I don't want to be a part of it.
Understood.
That's that.
No, totally.
Understood. And we respect you and we love you.
I know. That's why I'm here, because I didn't think you would have like backdoor me. But okay, it's been addressed. John, if you think I'm a traitor, you're wrong. I'm here to make sure that if they're doing something stupid, I don't like it, and that's that. And I don't know. Okay, so if you are, don't. If you are, then don't do it.
And if that's the case, we would have just started the show with that shit, and we would have talked to you about you.
But I don't like it. I don't like confrontation. I don't like you're my friend and he's my friend, and I can't be in. I'm not going to be in between. You're going to be both my friends.
Well, why don't you become a peace broker? Why don't you talk to him about healing,
put me in Russia and Croatia right now. I'll end this shit tonight.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
Why don't you talk to him about this and say, listen, maybe
I don't want to. I got enough confrontation in my life. I don't need extra.
But no, you're quelling confrontation.
Listen.
No, I don't know. If he's got a problem, then don't talk to me.
Grillo doesn't want to get involved. I respect that. Grillo, let me do this because we're going to get into a part of the show where we break down, we analyze. I don't want to keep you for that because I don't want you to be a part of it. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. We're friends. I love you. I want to stay friends with you. What can I plug anything for you? Can I promote anything for you?
Yo, bro, no, I'm just cool. I just wanted to come on and say what's up. Talk to all the friends and stuff like that, and make sure that there isn't a problem with me coming on and talk to you. If I do have something to plug, I'm on Instagram is Grillovator, Twitter is Steve Gorilla. I'm more like a Facebook family person where I go through family shit. I drop on Twitter every once in a while. I don't like getting into Twitter wars. I don't like being in the middle of this. By the way, I think we should say a big congratulations to one of the nicest people on the planet.
Go ahead.
With the introduction of the new Theo Ganji.
Ganji had a kid?
Ganji had a kid.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he put it on Facebook so I could finally say it. It was a little bit of a rough patch. Yeah. But the baby after
14 now. So
yeah. Well, after a couple of months in ICU and premature stuff, the baby's now home. And doing really good. And if you go on Ganji's Facebook page, you can see the pictures of the baby. I'm very happy for him and his wife. And Ganji's over the moon. And he got to bring his son home this week. And congratulations to Mike Ganji.
Hey, listen, Ganji's always been a good soul. He's always been a good guy up there. I love Ganji.
The nicest person on the planet. I go to him. I go because we're both. I'm half Irish, half embarrassed. He's full on embarrassed. I go, what's so funny? Remember we were kids and there was always that old Italian guy on the block and they were like, oh, Teresa, your grandfather wants you. And she was like, no, that's my dad. I'm like, that's you, bro.
Who's nicer, Ganji or John?
Yeah. Who's nicer, Ganji or the Pope? Mike Ganji.
So Ganji, I shouldn't try. So I shouldn't try and book Ganji, is what you're saying. All right.
Well, I think if you want to hear a screaming baby in the background, yeah. But I think he would. I think he would appreciate a little what's up because he's the happiest dad in the world right now.
I will hit him up as soon as we get done tonight. Ganj, I love you. Ganj, Grillo, I love you, brother. I wish you all the best. Keep in touch. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate the respect. I'm not going to go on and analyze. You want to hear the Gandolfini story real quick?
Before you tell it, I just want to tell you we do a few other shows here on the network. We do the Miserable Men show. We do the BS show, which is a morning show, 11 a.m. It's not John related. If you ever want to come on and fuck around, you're more than
friends with Pete DiLorenzo, were you?
Yeah.
Were you friends with Pete DiLorenzo, the comedian who passed away? No. Okay, that's the only thing we.
No way he could have known.
Oh wait, hold on. So hold that door right there. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I got to get one more drink because if I tell the story, I got to get lubed up. So we all know that I worked on The Sopranos,
Go ahead.
and there was a, we were all very tight. Everybody was like super cool with everybody, especially like James Gandolfini. He was nice and friends with everybody. He also became more friends with people on the crew, and I could use his name because it's all good. My friend Louis was a grip. He's tattooed up to his neck. He'd come in, on a ape hanger, and he was good friends with Jimmy. And Jimmy went out to Los Angeles during like the summer hiatus and did a movie with Brad Pitt, and became really close with like Brad Pitt and George Clooney. And they got him on a motorcycle, and they taught him how to ride a motorcycle. And the notorious pranksters.
Yeah.
So they bring James to a Harley Davidson dealership. I don't know if anybody knows anything about Harleys. They convinced him to buy an 883, and an 883 is the smallest model that Harley has to offer, and it is considered a girl's bike. It's like when a woman goes and buys a bike, it's an 883 because it's the smallest, it's the lightest. But Clooney and Brad Pitt convinced Jimmy to buy an 883. He has no idea about motorcycles whatsoever. So now the Sopranos start back up, and he ships the bike back, and he rides it to Silver Cup. And the first guy, he goes up to my friend Louis. He goes, Louis, come on, you got to check out my Harley, man. And he walks outside, and he goes, check it out, man. He goes, an 883? It's a girl's bike, right? He's like, what? He goes, why did you buy this? He goes, fucking Clooney! Fucking Clooney! Like. So all summer he was riding around. Others like he looked like the fat guy in World Guinness Book of World Records. Like, and he thought he was the coolest motherfucker in the world. So Louis calls up the Harley Davidson dealership in Long Island. They bring their whole entire inventory in like 5 like pickup trucks and lay it out in the Silver Cup parking lot. And Louis and Jimmy picked out the right bike for him. And then Louis got called into Irene Landris's office, who was one of the executive producers. She goes, are you fucking crazy? If he dies, we're all out of work.
I love it, man.
That's awesome. So, but that's one of the cool stories I got. But good people, and we're all still friends. It's weird.
I love it, man. Well, your pursuit of doing what you love is a big reason why you were smart enough to be nice on set, keep all these relationships and friendships intact. You're a smart guy, Grillo. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. All right.
I'm smart, not like they tell me.
we love you,
not
brother.
like they say. I love you guys too. Don't be too much of a dick to John.
No,
he's come on. It's John.
Yeah, but he's got to do is back off on certain things. Like he's trying to go real fucking deep. And,
other people's
okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
how John fights. He
and you don't do that to me.
You don't.
Okay.
But
you kids be nice.
Hey.
Don't make me pull this car over.
As an adult, as a grown man, as a father of 2, I just want to say this: he started it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm glad not to be a part of that because I don't want anything of it. Peace and love, and
Julie. Let us know what happens tomorrow.
Yes.
Go. Look, you know what happens in 5 minutes.
You say he's fucking.
He's got to go somewhere that has Wi-Fi.
Listen. This isn't like Soviet Russia. I can do whatever I want, and I hope I came across with the utmost respect and not to disrespect him. But I got respect for him. I got respect for you, and I'm in the middle. So,
I love you. I respect you. And we'll talk tomorrow. Let's talk about the other thing. Okay.
Yeah. And okay,
gentlemen, have a great night. Thank you so much.
You too, man.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Give him a follow. Give him some love.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, Steve. Love you, buddy.
See ya.
Take care, buddy.
Steve Grillo, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a good interview you did of him. I'm telling you, like if you didn't know a lot.
Listen, here's the thing. I just want to explain something. I asked Grillo to come on the show. Yeah. Now, do I assume he knows it's Uncle Rico's show? No, I don't.
Could have told me to have a gallon of bleach next to me, so I could have fucking ended it before I sit there.
But I wanted to talk to him and get him comfortable and see if he would play ball with us. He didn't, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Because what Grillo doesn't understand is he did everything correctly on here,
Mhm.
and John is still going to ban him from his life. So so we may not have gotten it this time,
Right.
but don't worry.
I was trying not to laugh reading the chat. Franklin was killing me. One of the posts was talkative Lenny.
No, I love Grillo. He's a good dude. I want him. He will get there. Don't worry. It's just a matter of time.
I love the interview. It was really interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
And he's a good dude, man. He's a good soul. But now the main event. Let's go. We don't need no fuck these Grillos. Shit.
Another Franklin's chat post was, "This is why I believe in enslaving all Italians."
Right.
Right.
Yeah. See, Gila knows the next time it comes on, that's when we get all the good stories. Yes, Vince. An episode here with Vince and John. Vince, attorney at law. I love Vince so much. So much. Here we go. Let's go, everybody. We ready?
Yes.
Ready? Yeah, I'm drunk. Let's go.
Bad band references.
Obscure band references.
Oh, Queensryche is not obscure.
How do you even Bob doesn't confuse bad and obscure? He goes, bad references, obscure.
Judas Priest is not obscure.
To me, it is a little bit.
All right, how you doing, man? Did you hear what he said about that V-Fi thing or whatever?
What the fuck's he doing?
Vince is just trolling John. You got to understand, Vince as a co-host just trolls John the entire time. Vince is a genius. Do I have snot on my face? Oh, I do. Oh my god!
It's not Rendezvous. It's Wirecast that we're going to use. Starting Thursday, we're going to be in the new studio. Exciting.
I can't even stop it. I'm wasted. I don't know what
Did John take over your body? You're drunk with snot coming out.
The more shows we do, the more I become.
It's like you went through a transporter with a little John and you're slowly becoming him.
I can't wait for the Uncle fucking Shuley show on John's network. He dropped his screen on himself. And then wait,
a couple weeks ago, my camera fell. Now this booger on my face.
Steve's story was so dull it turned Shirley into John.
I hope.
You know what? Grillo's right. We got to stop doing this. This is not right.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the close up of that.
Oh my god, awful. If I wasn't so drunk, I would have fucking zoomed in on it.
Oh, I threw my back out laughing. Holy shit. This is not fucking right.
He stared too deep into John, and John stared back at him.
Oh
I
my
don't
god!
I don't even know what I laughed at to get the snot out there, but it happened.
Isn't it fun how Grillo can start a party just by leaving?
Shout out to Grillo. Give him some love.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, are you okay now? Did you wake up?
Yeah. Ooh, that was riveting.
He's already fucking with him. I love this.
Are you sure you're not suffering from the coronavirus?
I don't know. I did hear a few coughs in my dream there. I don't know if that was from you or your guest.
All right, enough with your fucking bit here. Now let's get into the real thing that
John already pissed at him.
Yeah.
First of all, I am shocked that it took me this long to find out about this. And it is the Scott the Engineer canning. I was going to say firing, but I was going to stutter on F. But he was fired around
you didn't stutter on
Howard's birthday, so January or like Christmas. It was like December or January. I heard nothing about it. I was on the phone with Scott D. Pace yesterday.
It's like watching a ball that's square going down the street. It's just so weird.
And it's so funny because Scott tries to be coy with me, and he goes, And I go, hey Scott, did you hear that? Scott the engineer, got fired. And he went, yeah, no, did he get fired? I go, you motherfucker, you fucking knew it, didn't you? And he started laughing. I go, you were just afraid because you knew I'd ask you why the fuck you didn't tell me. So I got the story, and I'll credit Monique from Radio Gunk, my good friend, because we talked. She was,
yeah, former friend, the friend that he DM'd what a cunt she is, and then attacked her husband.
And then she got
who's her husband, who's not on the radio and has nothing to do with anything.
Like a family member who's not involved in showbiz.
What'd you say, Mike? Wow, I thought those were off limits.
Wow,
I thought that wasn't allowed.
Maybe Grillo should have stuck around to see this.
Yeah, maybe we should have Monique on an episode. Breakaway.
Yeah, has to be better than Grillo.
Oh
my God!
I like Grillo.
Listen, I have nothing against him, but that was like paint drying would fall asleep watching him.
We took a shot. We wanted to see where he was at. I didn't want to pre-interview and be like, "Where are you at with John? What's going on?" I wanted to just get him in the room and see what could happen.
I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was too, and we laid the foundation. We're good people.
Right.
We're not assholes until he watches this and sees all the shit you're saying.
No, and then he says Mike's an asshole, but like I think me,
I am an asshole.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm good with that.
It's not a
I
new
know my role.
Yeah, it's not a new land we've discovered.
He probably left the conversation and goes, "That one guy seemed like an asshole," and he's like, "I was right."
Well, I hope I haven't ruined him coming back on and telling another Gandolfini story.
Oh my God.
That was riveting.
He's like a
bike was too
13-year-old.
small. It was a small bike. He's a big guy. He's driving. The man had $20 million. He could have bought fucking 20 bikes.
Gila knows what's up. Gila, relax. Take it easy.
Chica Rico.
ran out of New York because she's afraid of the coronavirus, and she was afraid they're going to shut down all the bridges and tunnels. But so and I just called her to catch up with her, and she told me that she had a conversation with Scott. And and they talked about it, and so here's the story. How I think it's either I could get.
Now I know the story, so I'm gonna see if what she knows and what he's been told is accurate.
I love his Ted Kennedy hair that he has in this.
Yeah,
I might get some things wrong, but it's either a Christmas party.
He's got. If you look over here, it's like two fangs from a cobra.
It does look like a tarantula crawling.
Yeah, if you look, it does. Hey, clip that right now, please. Holy shit!
Yeah, can we build the rest of a spider onto this?
Hell yeah.
Of
Doesn't need
course
much.
you can. You need eyes.
Yeah, just eyes.
We have a team of people that can produce eyes.
Or Howard's birthday party, and Howard is making a speech. Scott is there with a lady friend, and the lady friend is taping Howard's speech.
A lady friend.
What?
Like, what year is this when you call him a lady friend?
Right.
Are you be bringing your lady friend tonight? Yes, I will.
Yes, I will be, actually.
Scott's with a dame or a skirt. Not sure which one. So far, this is accurate.
Marcy Turk sees the lady friend taping Howard's speech, and then runs over to the lady and goes, hey, stop taping. Delete that right now. And then Scott defends the lady and and Scott has this a temper, but I don't know if he, I don't know how crazy he got, but he was like pissed off. He's like, don't tell my girl to do this. And he's like,
oh, so you don't know Scott's temper? You don't remember him screaming through the fucking halls like a bull? You should have never taped me, G. Whatever the fuck, when he was doing the push-up challenge thing.
Yeah, out of his fucking mind.
You better pay up. Whatever the fuck that was.
It was what it was one word he was screaming. I can't remember what it was now. But it was just
Jaime? No, it wasn't Jaime.
Anal.
No, was it now? It was whatever. I just remember that.
Yeah, I just remember. You better pay up. It looked like a young Scott Salem right there. It's so weird.
You can't tell it to freaking delete it. And they start arguing.
I don't know if that's accurate. But first of all, if that's accurate, you 100% can tell somebody to delete it.
Yeah,
if it's something you're not supposed to be filming. And they're at a private function.
Ewing. Then Howard comes over and asks, what's going on. So then I guess Howard and Marcy both.
Now picture this, right? Picture this. Just imagine this. He brought a date to the party. Okay, it's not his wife. It's not, I know she passed away. Rest in peace. My condolences. He brought a date. Now, the Marcy, who's running shit for him, basically his eyes and ears, is now involved. Your boss is involved. Now, Howard comes over.
And the boss is a woman. You left that out. The boss is a woman. Now put yourself there. Okay, continue.
What? I don't understand. What is
the boss? Your boss. You know what I mean?
Can you believe chicks are bosses now? That's what I'm saying.
And she's actually a woman. So how fucking terrified of this fucking animal with power? Okay.
Okay.
Go on with your story.
So he now Scott plants his flag in the ground, and this is the hill he's gonna die on.
Both get the lady to delete the recording. So they delete the recording. And
I'm curious if the end of this story is accurate. And if it's not, I don't know if I should tell the actual end of the story, but I may have to prove
you might.
his lies, that are lies.
And then like a week or two later, Scott is fired from Sirius XM.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not how it went down. It's just not.
Wow.
That's not how it happened.
It's not. There was more to that story. Now, I don't know who told him this story, and I don't know why they left out what they left out, but there was more verbiage. Let's just say that.
Right.
It didn't end at her just deleting it and everybody walked away.
There's more to the story.
There were certain words that were aimed at certain people. I'll just say that. And certain words, once they leave your mouth, is a death sentence. Okay,
isn't that right, Levy?
I've heard it's true.
Right. So let's just say that. Okay, let's just say that.
The issue with recording, as some people know, some don't. Most employers don't permit recording, and then it's a question of whether this party is technically on employment soil, so to speak. So if he did it, probably not smart to do. Could be a violation of his agreement with SiriusXM.
Yeah, just like he did to me, and then pulled it out afterwards.
Yeah. So
you were taping on Sirius, right?
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was being paid by Sirius, and he was on company time.
That's right. It was scheduled. It was an appointment.
Yeah.
There was a special area for where he needed to go and record. Yeah, big difference.
Yeah.
This guy is giving a private speech to his employees.
Right.
That are the only people invited. No press, no media, nothing else there. And it's like, listen, I'm sure we all would love to record what happens at that Christmas party. Believe me.
I was lucky enough to go to a couple of them, and I can't even fathom whipping out a phone and taping
insanity, right? Insanity. And then to then just walk over to this date and fall on that sword. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not even a wife. It's
But I get it. He was miserable. He wasn't happy at work, and it was I just think it was the last, the final straw. He was going to yell those words out at some point. That's my point.
Listening back to you and Scott have such a great history. You tormenting Scott. One of the coolest pranks that I don't know if you invented or not, but you taped down the receiver end of the phone where you would pick it up, that little button there, and then you call him, and then it rings.
Vince is the best.
John invented this.
Yeah, we gotta get Vince on an episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the best. He's gonna tear us apart, but it'll be good.
I want to hear on this show.
Oh, Vince will talk. Believe me.
Scott picks up the phone. It's still ringing. It's a pain in the ass to do. I've actually used that prank after I learned it from you. And now we move on to obviously one of the greatest events is the recording of you that Scott happened to do on your Tonight Show audition.
Yeah.
When you went into Scott that day, did you tell him you were doing a bit for the show, or did you say you were actually applying for the job?
No. I would never, no, I told Scott.
John, he doesn't like to lie, but boy, he knows how to. Let me tell you.
That
I don't lie.
that I'm up to do the announcer for a big truck contest. What do you call those big truck?
A big
things?
truck
Yeah,
contest.
What is he doing? A Levy impression?
Sunday night, big truck contest. Be there. Sunday, big truck.
Sunday night, see the big truck, way bigger.
Big trucks.
the truck.
Yeah, a monster truck thing. And so I'm just gonna do some Letterman.
What?
Thing like they could be ballet dancing together. We don't know. It's this thing that they do. They don't just crush each other and climb over each other. It could be anything.
Monster truck ballet dancing.
And
Oh,
I will
shit.
announce it to see if I'll send them a tape so they can see that I can announce stuff. Scott knew. I mean, he obviously saw right through me. But I guess
I guess Scott must be Mensa too. He
Can't
figured that
believe he's
plan
smarter
out.
than John. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, there is very few things I believe, but that's one of them. Scott is a million times smarter than John.
underestimated his intelligence because I figured he would fall for it, hook, line, and sinker, like he fell for when I tied a fucking fishing line to a $20 bill and taped Scott bending over to pick it up, and then
I invented that too. Glory days.
Wow. Not only was it glorious, but he recycled it for his web series. He goes, I'm gonna go back to Old Faithful, the old dollar bill on the fishing line.
I would bet $100 that was a prank that was done on candid camera in 1958.
100%. Anybody in chat, Google
Yeah.
money on a fishing line prank and find out when the fuck it was before there were probably TVs invented. I guarantee you.
Yep.
There was some Florentine in the 30s going, I'm just doing this for my own personal joy.
yanked it out.
Upper decker in the outhouse.
Yeah.
From. I mean, I don't know if you know, Vince. Scott, I played so many pranks on Scott, almost probably more than I did on Baba Booey. I mean, I got to.
Which amazes me that Scott is still friends with him till this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and like we're only pulling pranks on you. Why are you saying
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Right. He
fun.
had a roster of people he was pranking. I
I
don't
can't
get
think
it.
of anybody else that I am. You know what I mean? It's only one person.
Right.
So I mean, something's going on about this. Maybe it's him.
Yeah. CF1F. Buster Keaton did the dollar bill.
Now watch this, Abe Lincoln.
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, you know when that bit started? When fishing line was invented.
And a dollar bill.
And a dollar bill. All right.
Scott, I played so many pranks on Scott, almost probably more than I did on Baba Booey. I mean, I got a kaleidoscope.
Oh!
Oh!
I have yet to do that on stream. I've yet to spit out of my mouth. I've gotten bookers. I've had a camera fall.
That looked like a money shot.
So we need to come up with a checklist. And when I've hit the final mark on the check, we stop doing this show. When I've fully become done, we pull the plug.
I'm so stoned. I think he just spit in my eye. I mean, really. I'm like, I can't deal with this. This is like, what word was it? Colitis?
Kaleidoscope.
Is he singing a Beatles song wrong? The girl with colitis?
Kaleidoscope eyes.
More than I did on Baba Booey. I mean, I got a kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope.
Oh my God. Was that spit on a pole vault?
That looked like Evil Knievel jumping over the fountains at Caesar.
Yeah. The fountains over the fountains.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know those things that that you look through, and then you turn them, and then
The
like
things you look through.
And by the way,
This is what a 5-year-old tells or a 3-year-old tells you what it wants for Christmas. This is how they explain it to you.
I just want you to focus on Vince's face and how much interest he loses by the millisecond.
You know those things that that you look through, and then you turn them, and then it changes all the colors and everything. So I dipped the kaleidoscope in an ink pad, and then went into Scott's studio. Hey, Scott, check this out.
Ooh, whoa. It's rabbit season.
Yeah, his saliva is pranking his mouth right now.
And then I went in the studio and I was like,
It's like watching a rafting accident on rocks. You know what I mean?
that's awful.
Oh, it's crazy.
And also, this prank has been done 1 billion times as well.
It's
In fact, that I know for a fact. Laurel and Hardy did it with binoculars.
Oh, Police Academy with the fucking megaphone. Like, come on, dude.
And everything. So I dipped the kaleidoscope in an ink pad, and then went into Scott's studio. Hey, Scott, check this out.
Good Lord.
Scott's intern grabbed it and then did it, and then he had a black ring around his eye. It was
do that again.
I lifted my feet off the ground and put them up on the chair bottoms, so because I thought it was flooding.
They thought there was a flood coming in.
I swear to God, I was like, I'm sitting on the back of my house waiting for it to get pulled down in this fucking.
I'm gonna pull my carpet up so it doesn't get ruined.
It's unbelievable.
We're gonna replay it, guys. Get FEMA on the line. Here we go.
Grabbed it and then did it, and then he had a black ring around his eye. It was asking, hey, Scott, check this out. You look through, and then you turn them, and then it like changes all the colors and everything. So I dipped
I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Are you fucking kidding me? Is that how you explain what it is? Yeah, you fuck.
kaleidoscope in an ink pad, and then went into Scott's studio. Hey, Scott, check this out.
Jesus Christ.
But then Scott's intern grabbed it and then did it, and then he had a black ring around his eye. It was intense.
Wow, Vince is dying over here.
Yeah.
Look at that. Vince on the floor in stitches. As if he just heard a Gandolfini story.
No, Vince has the look on his face like, oh my God. I've heard this story before from you, and now you're telling it again. It sucked the first time.
Watch Vince steer this in the right direction here in a second. Watch this.
Scott, though. But yeah, I would tape down his phone, and then I would go. I would say, Jackie, Billy, come on in the studio, in Scott's studio. I go, check it out. This is going to be hilarious. I taped down Scott's phone, and then I would tell an intern, call Scott, because Scott was always getting called by.
By the way, he could have been doing work during all this. You know, he was busy duct taping people's phones, doing all this shit.
And why did he say he's always cold? He just said he was just always cold. Just put it back a little bit.
Oh, he did?
Scott's always cold. It's really weird.
Check it out. This is going to be hilarious. I taped down Scott's phone, and then I would tell an intern, call Scott, because Scott was always getting cold.
Scott was always getting cold in the summertime. It was weird. Didn't make any sense. I don't get it.
By his, always called by Robin, his wife, who unfortunately passed away. And she would always, her and Scott would get into fights and stuff. So they had just got into a fight. So I was perfect timing. So I taped the phone down, and then I told the intern, all right, call Scott in about 1 minute. So I grabbed Billy and Jackie. So we're all hanging out in the studio. The phone rings. Scott picks up. Hello? And it just keeps on ringing. Hello? It keeps on ringing. Hello? And then Scott got so fucking pissed. He picked up the whole fucking phone and threw it at me.
Hey, I like that new song. It just keeps ringing. Oh, it just keeps ringing. Oh. We got to make that into music, man.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's
Actually, Scott knew that you were applying for that job.
I think that he he knew I was up to I was up to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's up to something. It's a matter of, does Scott really know? And then would you ever?
It looks like a mole on his face. Back up a little bit.
What happened? I missed it.
Look at the fucking mic is like it's in his face.
I was up to something.
Is that something on his nose, at the end of his nose there?
Iso, what am I seeing here? Do you
It
know?
could be a lot of things. I'm going to go with the way that the hair can't grow on that one piece of the mustache.
Oh no, they're on the right side of his nostril there.
I don't know. I didn't.
You actually
King of
thought-
all dabblers did this one.
Oh, it's got to be what I said.
All right,
I'm
let's
always right.
watch the zoom in here.
Scott knew that you were applying for that job.
I think that he like he knew I was up to some. You know, I was up to
He's looking at something. He's looking. That's what it is. He's looking at his phone.
Oh,
Okay.
something. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
He read something he didn't like.
okay.
Something. It's a matter of, does Scott really know? And then would you ever trust that information with Scott? And maybe you would. He's not necessarily someone who would rat on you.
Vince is great, by the way. Ask great questions.
Mhm.
I love him.
Is there any information on what Scott's new girlfriend looks like?
No, that I didn't ask. You know, I wish I could have Scott on the show, but I don't think he would ever do it. But I mean,
Oh no! Little did you know he would do it, and you would both regret it.
it would be great because if I can get Scott, I mean, that would be awesome.
Well, awesome is a strong word. You know
On
that
my
I would-
defense, we thought Gorilla would be awesome. So
Scott, thanks for coming on the show. How great do you think I am on a scale of 1 to 10? That, in case you missed the Scott interview, that was just a little excerpt from it.
You know, because but I'm pretty sure that Scott signed an NDA. I mean, we didn't. I know I didn't, Jackie didn't, Billy didn't, but I can only guess that Scott did. Hello, Karen from London.
Yeah, it all depends on how you want to go out. If you don't want to accept any settlement and you just want to leave and not get paid, then obviously you don't have to sign anything. Now, if he signed
Goddamn right, Vince. You sure
Mhm.
know.
and
Mhm.
one pursuant to his agreement with Sirius, I don't think he did, then you could speak if he didn't sign one.
Yeah, well, I think he must have because he, you know, I know the last time I spoke to Scott, he was like, he was like, John, I don't want to, I can't talk about it. Now. I wasn't.
What the fuck is he trying to say?
By the way, let me tell you what a pal this guy is. He knows he signed an NDA. And now on his podcast, he's talking about the last time he spoke to Scott, which was after he signed this NDA. And now he's talking about a conversation, even though he's saying Scott says, I can't talk about this stuff. It's still not a very good thing to do for your friend who
Right.
just signed an NDA and is getting paid based on that agreement, that he doesn't talk to anybody about this previous place of employment.
Mhm.
But he doesn't give a shit right away. I spoke to Scott and
He was like, John, I don't want to.
If he didn't sign one.
Yeah, well, I think he must have because he, I know the last time I spoke to Scott, he was like,
he knows he signed one. He 100% knows.
Right.
Him saying I think is bullshit.
he was like, John, I don't want to, I can't talk about it. Now. I wasn't. I feel bad about it in a way because I did talk about it, but it was really, and I talked to Monique.
In a way, he feels.
In a
bad
way,
about it.
I asked Scott to come on a Shuli Show episode because I was thinking of me and him doing like block party stories for an episode, telling some road stories of the block party. And even that he was nervous about coming on and talking about. So imagine what kind of position John puts him in, his friend, by and he's going, I kind of felt bad. For a second or two.
I feel bad about it in a way because I did talk about
In a way.
it, but it was really, and I talked to Monique about this as well. I was just pissed off that Artie stiffed him. I don't know if you know the story. That Vinny Artie was doing a charity gig for Scott, and Artie asked Scott for $1,000, borrowed $1,000 from Scott to do the show, and then
true. That's not true. That's not accurate. I know the story. I'm not going
What
to
is
tell
he
it.
talking about?
There was a miscommunication at a charity event for Scott when it came down to the money, but it was settled. What he's describing is not accurate. I will say that. Not my story to tell. It has nothing to do with me. I wasn't at the gig. I didn't perform at it.
What was it?
What do you mean? It was it was a benefit for Scott's wife.
I was there.
Oh, so this is the thing with. So this was the Stress Factory show, right?
It must have been because it
Yeah,
was.
that was
Yeah.
the only one.
was-
You
yeah.
already. Yeah. So, do you know what happened after it was all said and done?
Basically, I remember Scott hit me up and he was like, where's the check? It was like after 4 days. I go, I didn't get the check. I'm just on the show, you know?
Right.
And then he got paid from Artie. He definitely did get paid from Artie. There's
He
no
did.
doubt.
He
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, because I actually seen him coming out of the house and one night and he said, yeah. And he was like, yeah, he hooked up or something like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
he was hanging out with him.
there was a miscommunication there for a minute, but of course, John runs
Yeah.
with the thing that people are stealing money from Scott.
The show, and then
And if you're going to steal money from Scott, don't do a benefit show and then steal it.
Yeah.
He kind of knows who's stealing it.
Yeah, let us know when somebody else gets sick, so we can make a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
mean-
Promise.
Yeah, just let me know. Anybody limping or anything, and just let me. I'll
Maybe
keep
the-
the date open.
This is where John got the idea.
Right.
If you say somebody's sick, you can get some money out of it.
Evil light bulb went off in my head.
hey Scott, and then 2 weeks later, finally paid Scott, but only paid him $1,000 that he borrowed. Didn't give him anything else. And then Scott told me that, and then he also told me how,
Again, his friend who signed an NDA. Not that this has to do with his workplace, but again, a friend who's like not in a position where he can go on and tell stories on a show. This is your pal going out there and fucking blabbing for you.
Howard, didn't help him out or didn't even talk to him for the GoFundMe thing. I just thought it was real shitty. So I apologize to Scott, although I did get him back for his taping the announcers. But
you see, there you go. There's the truth. Scott tweeted out about this to John. It was something like, John, you should have checked with me first. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you could be costing him thousands of dollars, dude.
But you see how it went all the way in the circle and came back to the greatness of him.
Well, not only that, but it came back to he doesn't give a fuck because in his mind, he's always had a fucking beef with Scott for giving Howard his Leno audition tapes.
Exactly.
When John was going behind Howard's back. And so that's what so he says so, but in a way, I got him back for the Leno audition tape.
Yeah.
That's what it could. That's why he has no problem. And that's who that guy is, Grillo. So watch out. When it happens, just come to me. My arms are open. They're never going to be closed for you. I will hug you and welcome you into this world. That's right.
Yeah,
Like you're one of our own.
Like you're one of our own. And I will look you in the eyes and I will tell you, don't ever tell that Gandolfini story.
Yeah, he better bring some good fucking John stories on.
But because I love Scott, I do, and
but I love him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here, this is a new one I got.
But
I think this by Howard.
what you gotta do is have like a heart, like a plenty
Love,
and
but-
butt after
yeah.
the heart. Yeah.
Good.
Firing Scott, even for Scott's lady friend to tape Vinny. I don't know. This is my thought, and then I'll get yours. I think it's Scott has been there loyal for 30 years. And okay, so his lady friend taped something. She did finally delete it. So why would you fire him?
Because that's not why they fired him. That's not why they fired him. It did. I'm not going to go into detail. All I can tell you is Scott did not handle it well and really put them in a position where they had no choice.
Right.
That's the reality of it. Because nobody was at that time, you got to understand, nobody was bothering Scott. Scott wasn't bothering anybody. He wasn't coming in the studio anymore. He wasn't a part of Bits. He was literally helping out the tapes team, for the archive stuff.
Right.
That's it. They turned him into the guy in Office Space, right? They put him in that fucking basement and nobody bothered him. And he didn't bother anybody. And he would have stayed there had he not.
I'm sure he was happy. Yeah.
Had it not, I don't know that he was happy, but he
Well,
could have
happier.
fucking milked it for if he wanted to. you know. But he, like I said, this was a build. This was, a simmer to a boil, and then boom.
Like I heard one guy say, sometimes it's just better to shut the fuck up, and that was me telling me that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to sit back and go, you know what? Let me answer this a little later because I don't think it's going to be good right now. You got to be able to fucking think.
It's so funny. All right, I'll bring it up later.
This is most likely the last straw to deal with Howard.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, how many times has Baba Booey fucked up? How many times has Shuli fucked up? I mean, all these guys.
Oh, I thought hold on. I thought he didn't know me. I thought he didn't know what I did at the show. And by the way, John, not too many.
Yeah,
not too many. Definitely less than you.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to bring me in and ask me what time my alarm is set for. They didn't have to bring me in and yell at me for smoking weed at the hotel that Howard was staying at when he was in LA before weed was even legal in LA. I didn't bring my wife and kids on a business trip with the show and fucking and leave laundry for the cleaning service to come and do at the hotel. You're there for work, dude.
He really is a poor Ricky Ricardo. What Ricky Ricardo would do if he was really poor.
He's like a Beverly Hillbilly, right? Except he doesn't have the money. He didn't strike the oil. He's just white trash.
Without like a story about a man named John.
Imagine that the show goes, we're going to LA to do a week of shows or whatever, a weekend, whatever it is, and you bring your fucking wife and kid. Like,
wow,
that's insanity.
That's what were you born in a barn?
Screw up. I mean, so you're gonna fire him, take away his livelihood. I mean,
and that's also very telling in the fact that why would he bring my name up when he's talking about somebody being fired? Because deep down inside, this guy didn't want me working there. He had a problem with me there and wanted me to lose my job in some way, shape, or form. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, of course, he would always see you as an inferior because you started out needing him to get on the air.
That's right. He was my gateway to get to Howard, my conduit, right?
He had the power over you. Then all of a sudden, you have the power that you're on Stern, and then eventually he's off Leno, so he's jerking off in the wind, and you still have a steady job.
Yeah.
And the new show coming up, Gateway to Heaven. A new talent show we have here.
I'm the gateway to heaven.
You can drool on yourself or just be yourself.
He just lost his wife a year ago, and now you're gonna fucking take away his salary, his income.
Well, it's not Howard's responsibility, John. It's a business.
You think Howard was sitting back there going, "It happened exactly like I hoped. First with cancer, now I drain his bank."
Yeah, Howard going, when was the funeral? Yesterday? Okay, cut him loose.
You're in bed with the boss.
And I like that Vince is like, hey, dude, it's a business. They're entitled to fucking fire and hire whoever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's another good. I've just looked at the chat over here. Was that she says Howard treated Shuli with much more respect as well. So that's going to kill him. So when he does hear you on the show, you're not getting called a moron or hero of the stupid, or saying that you're not. And
don't get me wrong, I had my bad moments in there.
Well, listen, you got your balls busted,
but fuck, man, I learned pretty quick not to be back in there for those reasons.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad when you just deliver shit. It's nothing worse than that. Whether it's sitting in anything, it just
it's like seeing a natural disaster coming towards you, and there's nothing you can do.
Right,
There was an episode. It's on YouTube, and it's us discussing the block party, and I think it was when Scott was saying he couldn't do this weekend of shows because he had a family cousin's wedding, was the excuse that he gave. And we ended up booking JD. And that episode in particular is a great example of how it's a roulette, not even a roulette wheel. It's literally just a wheel that spins and it eventually lands on everyone in that studio.
Yeah.
It starts with Scott. Me and Ronnie are busting his ball. Then Jason comes in and he tells Howard how much Scott's making on the road, which I told Jason. Now it turns to me.
Yeah.
Now Scott's pissed at me. Why are you talking about what I make to Jason? He's 100% right. But my point in telling Jason was this guy's asking to see the books, right? To see if there's more money in it for him. Here's what he does. Here's what he gets paid. You tell me if you have any fucking leg to stand on to go, let's open those books and see those numbers real quick.
Right.
So, I mean, and that episode was a perfect example of just how it was in that room. You're in there laughing and pointing at somebody, and 5 minutes later, they're laughing and pointing at you, and you're just like, what the fuck happened?
All of a sudden, friendly fire.
Yeah. Shrapnel.
Yeah.
Take away his salary, his income.
Well, it's not Howard's responsibility, John. It's a business, and if you're in bad with the boss and they have a way to get you out, then you're going.
All right, Vince. But let me play. Yeah, and I'm glad that you're saying this, but
I'm glad that you're saying this. No, you're not. You're going to argue the point right now.
Oh, and I don't know why you don't seem clear. Do you see how you picture? Like I'm all fucking sweaty and clear, and you're like, as if they put.
He had a perfect opportunity to put a very good conversation together with this guy right now, and he went to the cut. What the fuck?
Why am I sweaty?
This is the first time he's noticed that he's sweaty, and he's always sweaty.
I don't think it's a camera. I think it's alcoholism. But I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm not a doctor.
The Vaseline from the fucking 1950 kind of movies on your lens because it isn't as bright or clear as me. But
Vince is like, where were we, dude? What are you fucking talking about?
Well, yeah. Just when you move back, it is. I guess it's the window. But anyway,
But anyway, now he doesn't know what you're talking about when you had something very interesting could have came. Oh my God.
Me, Scott, Baba Booey, Jackie, I mean,
right. Here we go. This is the last fucking attendance list you want to be on. Is coming out of
this movie's got to end in 30 seconds. Get them all on the set. They're all going to die. They're all going to be shot in the back. Let's go.
This is like when they don't have an idea in wrestling and they just fucking make a big schmaz at the end.
Get the fat guy out too. Come on.
Hey, get your friend. Put on a security shirt. You're a cop. Go out there. Deal with it.
Artie, aren't they like the core people? Like, don't you give them a second, third, fourth chance?
100%. So Scott built up some credibility. And
listen, John, you give them a second, third, and fourth chance when it's your company.
Right.
Like you can't put that on other people. You may not agree with it, but that's their right. It's their company.
And how does he know how many chances Scott had? Nobody knows until except for Howard or Marcy or whoever.
No, that's true too. Like I don't know what happened behind the scenes other times, if there were other times, if there were other interactions between him and management and it going south. I don't know.
Right. Listen, they don't always talk, if an employee's not doing what he's supposed to, not saying Scott didn't, but sometimes they don't know until they know.
And also, you have this person that's running the show for Howard, Marcy. Now, if Howard doesn't support her and have her back, well, what does that make her look like to the rest of the staff, right? And now everybody walks all over her,
Wait, somebody says it in chat. We figured this out. Martin said John is resting his nose on the mic. Maybe that's what we were looking at before. We couldn't figure it out. That could be.
What anything to do? Fucking weirdo.
Responsibility.
I can't wait. 3 weeks from now, Grillo coming back on going, what a fucking gun that guy is.
3 weeks. You're gonna get.
You know what? The good thing is
you're gonna get a call at midnight tonight.
I like the honesty and the basically how you should be as a friend. Listen, I mean, it really came out there.
I know
that's a good.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
people were giving him shit in the chat, but you know what? He's a stand-up guy, man, and a lot of people
Totally.
would kill to have a friend like that, and I
Yes.
respect him for standing up for himself and for his friend and saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna do this." So
I loved it.
all good,
You don't
all
see
good.
men like that.
I
You
wasn't
really
a
don't
fan.
see men like that. You
Good
don't.
for
No,
him.
because you just take a fucking side.
You see, but
You
that's what
fucking
people
Aaron
do.
Burr. I don't want to talk to Aaron Burr. I want to talk to Hamilton. You know, pick a fucking side, pal.
Aaron
Smart,
Burr, what the
quick, and
fuck
an
are you
amazing
talking about?
musician. Yeah, okay.
Aaron,
No.
not Aaron
Aaron-
Burr, the comic.
No,
I
not
know, I
Aaron
don't
Burr,
know
the
what he
comic.
fucking
Aaron Burr,
screaming
the
about.
guy who killed Hamilton. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I wasn't there that day.
Now, Bob hasn't seen that show yet.
That he had, but in the end, John, I don't think Scott was really participating a lot in the show in the past years.
Well, ever since the GoFundMe, I don't know if you know, Howard demoted Scott and moved him to another floor, and Scott was no longer an employee.
Now, first of all, it's not true. He was 100% still an employee. He wasn't demoted to another floor. He was moved. His office, the floor that everybody had an office on. First of all, Scott wasn't engineering the show anymore. It was a different engineer. So Scott didn't have his studio anymore. Now, one of the GoFundMe was not an issue. The GoFundMe got approved by management. Okay, that he talked to management. They approved it. What fucked Scott up, in my opinion, was putting together this thing with Artie. I think that because at that point in time, Artie was on a tear, just going on any show and just shitting and talking shit about Howard. And so I think that bothered Howard. Maybe it didn't even get to Howard. Maybe it wasn't even on his radar. Maybe it was something that management got pissed off about. But that, not the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe was approved. They gave him a thumbs up for it. So again, that's not accurate. It's just, working with somebody that's shitting all over where you work is not a good look for you. It's just not.
Yeah, I kind of wrote the blueprint on that one, and I can agree. I'm not going to
You're
lie to
patient
you.
zero.
Yeah, but you learned from it at least. You
Yeah.
understand now. I hope.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing. Yeah, I do. Well, here's the thing. How long was the GoFundMe before the benefit show? Because I remember them both kind of, but like I would say if the benefit show came in 2 weeks to a month after it was up, that's going to cause trouble. It should be further.
No, I think it was pretty quick, and it was definitely the GoFundMe was definitely first, and then the benefit show happened after that. So yeah, that's also a kind of weird look too. And then what you have to understand is you have this fan base that the minute the GoFundMe goes up, instead of contributing and helping, people right away are going, why doesn't your fucking boss give you 50 grand, 100 grand, and this will all be over and you don't need to do. You should be ashamed of yourself, Howard, for not paying this treatment. You should be, and it's like, fuck off, dude. You can't do that. You can't fucking make it Howard's responsibility to pay for this medical treatment. It's not.
But I'm just saying that if I had the money, I would. Like if I had that much, that's just me. But I'm just saying.
But we also don't know if he donated something personally to Scott and gave him money. I don't know that.
Well, I seen a $5,000 gift and it was signed Pelican, so it has.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go, $5 grand.
I'm just saying the facts here. Health insurance, Uncle Rico and Mommy said. Well,
no, he had health insurance, but
it's not about that. It's about like there's so much shit that they're just not going to cover. They're just not going to cover it, and you're not going to basically say no. So it happens. It's not a good thing.
No.
Of the fucking Stern show, he was now just an employee of Sirius XM. And look,
by the way, we were always employees of Sirius XM. We were never employed. We worked at the Stern show, but we all got paid through Sirius XM. We were all contractual employees of Sirius XM. So again, just want to clarify. Remind you that this gentleman named Melendez on your screen knows dog shit.
Okay. And for anybody who hasn't heard this, Scott tried to approach Howard in the hallway, and Howard said, "You know, you're not allowed to talk to me." I mean, this is a guy.
Again, first of all, I wasn't there for this, so I don't know. I find it hard to believe that Howard, especially at that point in time when he had buffers in place, you understand? Howard didn't need to get involved. There were people that would tell you, hey, Howard wants to talk to you, right? You don't go up to them and go, I'm going to go talk to Howard. No, you go up to them and you go, hey, can I talk to Howard? And that's how it works.
Right.
That's how it works when you get to that level, right or wrong. That's just it.
Right.
Okay. So I find it hard to, unless Scott did the unthinkable, which would be cornering Howard as he's leaving the studio and going, hey, I want to talk to you about my son's band or whatever the fuck it is.
Also known as Howard's worst nightmare.
Right. Then I can understand.
Yeah.
Then I can understand. But again, I wasn't there, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Guy who's worked for him for 30 years, Vinny. How could you defend that?
More importantly, he wasn't there either.
Right.
Let's just establish that. So this guy recapping this story as if it was as vivid as yesterday for him in his mind wasn't even fucking there.
The man who doesn't know what a kaleidoscope is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That behavior.
John, there comes a time where you have to move on top of your business. And as much as Howard can, because he is the performing star of this business, you can't deal with people on a day-to-day basis. Now, him saying about that moving in the hallway, who knows if that's true or not? I mean, does Scott claim that's true?
Yes.
All right.
Again, John just grabbing whatever friends nearby and throwing them in front of traffic at any point.
I'll answer for you.
Right. Now, he's saying Scott told him this, then I'll. But my thing is the context. Why did Howard tell you this? Right. That's the basis of this story. And if he knows that, he's not telling it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like Howard's
Scott's
tired.
not a liar. Scott is not a liar.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think Scott's a liar either. No. You're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
So we're not getting the whole story here. Howard was not he wasn't Ellen DeGeneres. He wasn't a raving fucking lunatic when he got off the air. Sorry. I have no NDA signed. If I wanted to fucking trash this guy, I could trash him, but there's nothing to trash him about. He was a great fucking boss. He really was.
Yeah. So it's just his little rule, man. Some people have rules after the show, leave him alone. I get it. What's the big deal? It's not necessarily our concern, right?
Well, it is my concern because Scott's a friend and I care about Scott, which is why I freaking I outed the story about Artie screwing him and about.
I care about him. That's why I put him in a super awkward position by outing a piece of private information that he gave me.
Yeah, I said something publicly he didn't want said.
Amazing.
Yeah. Howard screwing him because how could you screw somebody when their wife is fucking dying, Vinny? I don't know. Look, this is where I totally fucking emphatically disagree with you. I mean,
well, what's the perfect day to do it on? It's like I don't know. I don't know what's
going. Can you pencil me in on a week? Was it weekend? Weekday?
What's the Monday we got off in March?
A holiday? Do we do it on a holiday? I love that. All these rules.
Scott is a fucking fixture on the show. His wife is dying, and Howard can't even fucking help him out a little bit and tells him don't talk to him in the hallway.
Right, because those moments were in the same time frame, right? Scott goes, my wife's dying, and Howard goes, don't fucking talk to me, Scott.
Fucking Jesus Christ, I just spit vodka in my eye. Oh my God. Out of the way, peasant.
The way he paints the picture is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
This is a movie. We don't have the ending yet, but we're writing it.
Yeah, it's like John wrote one of those Lifetime movies. Yeah. It's like
I got the ending. You ever see the movie Star 80? I think that's how it's gonna end.
This is and this.
Oh, and by the way, Happy Days with a comment here. Why didn't this piece of shit start a GoFundMe first? That's how much John donated to the GoFundMe.
How much?
0 donut.
Really?
Yeah, I 100% remember somebody posting that John didn't donate anything. I think John was like, I gave him something privately, or whatever the fuck it was. Almost.
I gave him advice. Advice is much more worth stuff than fucking money. You know what I mean?
The guy that's giving his fucking, doing charity for fucking cats and dogs and can't take care of a guy whose wife is fucking dying.
John is saying that he hates animals now. I don't believe this. Let's run with it, guys. Everybody make those little things. Go. We got to piss them off more.
Team, I need a headline on social media. Woke John, no more. And then
dogs and cats, bad.
Dogs and cats, bad. Employees, good.
This is the guy who says that he's the new Howard, tear up the first 2 books because that's not really him. This is the new Howard, and then he fucks over his fucking staff member of 30 years? You think that's cool?
You mean that you can't go to Dr. Sarno to cure your gayness, as Howard contends in his first book?
Benny, just be fucking serious for a second. I'm being serious.
Oh, hail Vinny. Oh, hail Vinny.
He definitely owns $1 million company. He's just such a businessman. He's coming straight from a business, like a boss would do things and look at things. Like this is what you need to succeed if you want to do that kind of stuff.
Right. And the guy yelling at you, it puts a chicken on a can of beer on a grill. Okay? So just so you understand where we're at.
Now we're gonna get these 2 worlds and we're gonna slowly move them together. And we want you to say, like we say, what the fuck just happened?
What happened? What am I watching here?
Serious. I don't think Howard has any obligation to Scott relating to the Robin situation. His wife's situation.
Okay, all right. So, Vinny, let's just fuck. I'm gonna go down this.
Whoa! Easy there, fella.
We got a bumper to bumper over here on the 7-5 right here.
His wife's situation.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I got another hot.
I'm gonna go down this.
What happened?
Wait, hold on. I got another hot topic we got to get spreading.
Go ahead.
Oh fuck! I'm so stoned. I just forgot. That's fucked up. Isn't that fucked up?
Hot topic.
Just go back. I'll figure it out. I'll be back. Rochester this weekend, baby. Friday night.
You think we're a mess now? Wait till you see us this weekend, pal.
Oh my God, hanging out with fucking all our closest new best friends now. I mean, come on, this is fucking unbelievable. Woodstock had nothing on the peace and love. Fucking, how about laughs and fucking you?
You talk about a hole in the fence. They drove a fucking car through the fence last night.
We don't want to talk about it yet, but hey, things happen. You know what I mean? People,
I put it out on Twitter that I think John gave his associate the wrong date and time for the attack.
My God.
There was a cane left at the scene.
Yeah.
It's
so funny. We were watching video the other day on the BS show of these 2 idiots trying to steal an ATM machine. And it literally happened in Rochester the other night, multiple locations. And one of them was Carlson, which is repaired and everything's fine. Back in business.
All good.
Hey, our 9/11 is not that bad. Okay.
No,
and let me tell you something. This is going to be a great event. People suffer in these worlds. Okay.
Right.
So we're there to bring happiness. People fucking deal with shit every day that sucks, John. You don't understand it. You want to be part of it. Come laugh with it.
It's never too late.
Cut that right there.
Okay, all right. So, Vinny, let's just fuck. I'm gonna go down.
Stop it.
Why? Probably your picture is unclear. Okay, so then just explain to me this.
Wait, hold on. If my dog was choking like that, I would jam my hand down his throat and see if I can grab some meat or something or a shoe.
It is the sound of someone drowning or choking. I agree.
If a girl can fucking blow you and it sounds like that on your balls,
marry her.
You put a ring on that kid. You know what I mean? You get that dame down to the fucking wedding hall.
Fortunately, passes away. Howard doesn't walk down and fucking offer his condolences. He sends him a 2-sentence email that says the following: Beth and I are sorry for your loss.
So now understand what he's doing to Scott. Now he's
He's burying him right now.
He's burying him. He's literally saying, Scott forwarded emails to me.
Exactly, which means that Howard would never recommend him. Anybody in that building will not recommend him. It'll be your recommendation will be under mine right now. Okay, in that building.
Yeah.
So just get what you just did.
Yeah, that's your pal.
We have donated to a charity in your wife's name.
Okay. So they're donating to a cancer charity, and John's like, but what were they supposed to do? Buy him a house?
Don't you know it's too late now? Maybe Howard is get the t-shirts ready and put this up there. Maybe Howard raises money for cancer because he loves it so much. That's why. Put that out there on the news. Break that story right now. Howard Stern loves cancer.
There's a lot of celebrities out there that do, charity work specifically to publicize that they're doing charity work. There's a lot of celebrities out there that do a lot of charity work that none of us know a fucking thing about it because they're not looking for the recognition.
Yeah, you think when I went to that Elks Lodge in fucking Fair Lawn, New Jersey, I was going to come out and brag about it to you people? Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, that's right near me, Bob.
He was kidding. There was no show, Mike. Anyways,
I get canceled. There's 6 people there. All right, is that what you wanted, people? Leave me alone. I have feelings too.
But what I'm saying is he doesn't know what Howard and Beth have done privately. All he knows is what Scott has told him, and without even thinking of his friend who's in a very difficult spot right now, you're just making it even more difficult for him.
Mm-hmm.
Howard. That's it. If you have, someone that works for you, they work for you for 30 years and their wife or husband dies. You're not going to go up to them personally and fucking offer them your condolences.
Watch this guy's answer. It's fucking all business. I love this fucking kid. I guarantee it's all business.
Let's see. We don't know. Let's see. Let's see what Vince is. I kind of agree with you, but I don't know. I've never seen this. So
let's see what the guy who stole Tiger Woods' outfit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I hate when people make donations in your name when you don't even ask for it.
No, give the money to me.
Hello.
John, we've been trying to give the money to you. Just think of how great conversations we would have about things in the world that you just see differently. It would be great conversations, and we'll probably have a bunch of laughs too. But look, man,
that's the thing he doesn't understand, Bob. That's the thing he doesn't understand. He thinks we want him to come on here so we can play clips of him in front of him.
Yeah.
No, not interested in that. I don't need clips. I got you. All I got to do is do a show. That's it. Let us do a show. Get in here. Get in the mix. You're wasting your time. You're doing nothing. You're producing nothing. You're losing money. Stop.
And wouldn't you love to have some beautiful round eyes like we have here on the Shuley Network? Now,
fizzy lift drink, right? It says right here in the contract, ipso facto, right? Good day, sir. Listen, where are we at?
I don't know.
1335, boys. That's where we're at. That's where we're going to put the brakes on.
I remember that year. I was a 2-year-old.
I was a young Levy back then. Listen, I can't thank you guys enough for coming in here tonight.
Yeah.
We tried the Grillo thing. I love that he came on here.
And he was a real man.
He could have backed out before
the real man. Why was he a real man?
Because when you stick up for your friends before, it's not before.
A real man would have said, "I'm not coming on because I don't agree. He's my friend." No, he can't play both sides. I'm sorry.
No, he's not. But I'm saying it's not his fight. None of this is his fight, and that's what he says. Why do I got to be involved? I hope everything works out.
Well, he could have come on and said something interesting.
Well, that's Gandolfini's.
I don't know. Listen, I almost canceled my subscription.
Oh, don't do that, Mike.
Don't be like that. Now it's going to be the big Grillo and fucking Mike fight on the internet. It's going to be all over the world.
Mike's
No, but
deleted.
listen, he's like you were, Bob. He's like you were with John in the beginning here. Oh, I just want to have fun. I just want to both sides. Oh, listen.
Yeah.
You know what he is. You know
Well,
what John is.
but Mike, Bob was like that at first. And what happened? Did anything happen in a positive direction? No, absolutely. No. John did what John does, and that is get people to fucking hate him.
Well, I will give John the benefit.
Oh my God.
I will give John the benefit of the doubt that he will
It's just a matter
ream Grillo, and then things will change.
It's just a matter of
time. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm going to say it's not going to I think they're going to be cool, and he's not going to turn, because I don't think he gets involved with this shit. That's the whole thing. He goes, these are two people, two people I like.
Then he should have, when I brought up the thing, well, you should try to get them both back together. Then if he's a friend to both of them, he would say, yes, that would be good for both of them.
Maybe he will. Give it time. Give it time. This was, I thought he handled himself very well tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a stand-up guy, and he had fun with us, and he laughed
a gentleman,
and a gentleman, and a gentleman, and a Zgala, as Grillo would say, Zgala.
And the second prettiest man in the room, he was, and
you're third though, Bob.
Give it up for Levy today. What a day of broadcasting for Bob Levy. I mean, can we just honor this man a little bit? This guy, 11 a.m. BS show, 4 o'clock MLC, 7 o'clock Levy Land, 8 o'clock Uncle Rico. All this, all in one day, and killing on everything. He's the man. He's the man. What a network, what a team, what a family we got here. Can't thank you guys enough. WATPlive.com. We got a few more days of broadcasting, and then we're all traveling. We're all coming to Rochester.
Yeah.
It's going to be minus. Of course it is. It's winter. That's what happens in winter. Buckle the fuck up, grow a pair, and get the fuck out of here, because somebody hit this on the head. Who was it? Florentine on MLC today said, people in Rochester, they ain't staying home. They fucking go out in this shit. Exactly. It ain't nothing to them. So stop being pussies. Get over there. The show is indoors. There's enough of us that it's gonna be warm, and we're gonna have a blast.
I remember working up in Buffalo, and there had been so much snow. There was literally like a 5-foot snowbanks that they cut through, so it was like a maze, but every bar was full. They're going through that maze to get to the bars and the clubs.
Fucking people don't stay everywhere. It's worse weather. They have better ways to get it off the fucking ground, and it's gonna be sunny. Just don't bring water. It's gonna freeze. Okay.
This guy wants to know.
Is DabbleCon outside? No, we moved it back in. Well, we figured it was going to be under 30, so now we had to bring it in. But we were going to do it outside. But yeah,
Potato will be there. Potato's there. Everybody's there.
His own community. He's going to have there the Potato.
Look, if John showed up at DabbleCon, he would get a standing ovation. 100%.
He'd be carried out 100%. On people's arms. Wow.
Carried in. I think after the performance, he's not getting either a standing ovation or carried anyway.
Well, listen, he's usually getting carried out of a bar anyway. So.
Exactly. So it would most likely be on the end to do it. I think. God, you see, we're fucking good. There's no denying it, folks. Come on.
No.
Get past that.
And listen, if you're not in the Dabbleverse, if you're seeing this on YouTube when we release it and all this stuff, if you're not involved in and you don't get it, Friday night is all about that. It's a comedy show with great comedians just doing comedy. So you don't have to be well-versed in the Dabbleverse to enjoy Friday night. Saturday night, you might.
Listen, but I disagree. I think the Dabbies, even if you've never heard it, John, what's been set up is funny anyway. It's visual. Right.
You're right.
I think
it does kind of tell the story. We're telling the story of the man, the legend.
And honoring him. Well, I wasn't lying when I said that to Gorilla. We're honoring John,
right?
And so, live streaming, no, we are not live streaming the event, but we will be releasing content from the event. We're recording everything.
Yeah.
So don't worry, you guys will get to see the stuff, and new events are in the works already. locations, venues. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. We're just getting started here. Can't thank you guys enough. WATPlive.com. Get your tickets. We're coming this weekend. Shuli Network on Patreon, YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when something's live, like tomorrow at 11 a.m. with the BS show. So join us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the BS show on YouTube at 11 a.m. And the Shuli Network. Come join in. Boys, what else you got? Go ahead, Mike.
Well, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I am Insta Mike Morse, and on Twitter, Mike Morse Says. Also have a book that's on Amazon right now that I wrote with a few other guys called Ha Ha History. Go to Amazon and you can get an audiobook, or not an audiobook, a Kindle version, or I guess you can order the paperback version too. So
paperback version. Paperback.
Write that, Mike.
Okay, CaseyRays.com.
A book?
A book of what? A book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it. Go. What is it? Not the 11th. Me, Kevin Brennan, will be at CaseyRays.com. It's in Vineland, New Jersey. Brennan Levy's Comedy Club. What else? MLC Podcast on YouTube.com. MLC Podcast on Patreon.com. What is that? Get the A. Get. And Levyland is up now. And don't forget, Out of the Coffin with me, Bob Levy, will be
we're doing it from
Friday
Rochester.
night.
Yeah, from Rochester.
Midnight. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Bob will probably have the largest audience ever for Out of the Coffin. I don't think any of us go behind the camera, in front of the camera with you. I think we all stay behind the camera and just watch. And, and
yeah, it's just the madness.
Soundtrack.
Everything wonderful.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow on YouTube, Shuli Network. Let's go. Thank you, Steve Grillo. Thank you to everybody, and we'll see you.
That's all for the Uncle Rico Show. That's all for the Uncle Rico Show. Grab one more beer and shout out, Skull Good. Bye.
Bastard.
So, Steve Grillo went on the Uncle Rico show with that loser Shuli that nobody Mike Morse and my former friend Slob Levy. How could you, Grillo, after everything I've done for you? And you go on that show and trash me?